This video is going to be about this diagram. You may have seen it gets updated every once in a while. It's kind of colorful, and it has units on it for X and Y dimensions. And it's supposed to show you something that's supposed to scare you, and that's what it's for. And then usually it's followed up with a please put money in my GoFundMe or Patreon. Now, I want to point out that it says December 5th, 2022. That's the latest version I saw anybody hawking out there trying to trick people. And they call it the Earth Wobble Axis Tilt Viewed from Above. And this is based on the idea of the Earth flipping on end or having some catastrophic occurrence. And it has dates going from 2013 to 2022. And people will reinterpret it all sorts of ways, presuming that this is something important. And I'd like to point out that right here, this reticle, this big dumb reticle, covers up some of the numbers. No scientist would actually do that. So I'm going to clean that up and show you a version of it like a scientist might use. I'm also going to remove the word wobble because that's not it. And it's not tilting. Tilting, wobble, earth, axis. These are keywords you use to get fear clicks on YouTube and on Facebook apparently. So since this is, by the way, only covering about a 9-year period of time, something you should start off with here is you'll notice that this number goes from 180 here to the number 500 down here. But on the bottom edge, it looks like it has 40,000. Is that 40,000? But they're missing the zero every single entry. But it says 320 here, and there's 280, 240. That's a decimal point with a zero after it. Or more accurately, that is somebody deceptively editing the picture. So I'm going to take that out. And also, you notice here, that's the 0, and that's a negative 20, not negative 2,000 or 20,000 or any other number. Because the scale would be wrong if this is a spiral. So let's talk about this. What are these units? And then you hear crickets, because people won't tell you what they are. Now, if you're not aware of it, this is a measurement that scientists use at the North and South Pole to measure how much of a disruption the Earth is experiencing on its yearly cycle from, let's say, here to here. That's about right for 1 year. This point here and this point here are 1 year, calendar year. The Earth's center point, as the Earth rotates on its axis, moves around in a spiral. And it's a weird spirograph thing. And you're seeing it right here. But here's the problem with it. Because you don't know that 180 through 500 are a type of unit measuring the surface area of the Earth, you don't know how big it is, do you? Okay, well, I'll show you, but it's in milliarcseconds. Now, let's talk about that. A milliarc means it's 1,000th of an arc. So, let's say 0.5 here, or 500 here, would be 1/2 arc. Okay, now what is an arcsecond? Okay, well, an arcsecond is 1/60th of an arcminute. And an arcminute is 1/60th of a degree. And a degree on the surface of the Earth is about 70 miles. So already we're talking about a number that you'd have to take 70 miles, divide it by 60, divide that by 60, and then divide that by 1,000 to get a milliarcsecond. That sounds like a lot of work, so I'll just tell you what this is. If you remove the 0 after 220 and make it 22, that's the number of feet. So that's a measurement of, let's say, 18 feet to 50 feet, this way. And then from here to here is 32 feet and then negative 20. Again, this is deceptively edited by adding extra zeros on it, because technically they're treating the tick mark as a decimal point. So this is 32 feet to negative 20, which works out to, over the entire width here, let's say 52 feet from X to Y here. And then from top to bottom, well, you get the idea. So this is around a 30-foot spiral of disruption on the North Pole. 30 to 50 feet. Now, when you put it in context like that, and you realize that people who showed you this diagram didn't tell you that this is in milliarcseconds, they're full of shit. They're lying to you. You fell for it. And these people will constantly repeat that they're patriots, and that they're Christians, and any other word they have to use to get you to listen and believe and not question them. And if you do, they'll just block you, because they always have a PayPal or other link saying, give me money. And yeah, this is, if we scoot up to the top, this is Planet X News. We have people here talking about the Anunnaki and that sort of thing. So let's go here. Okay. Now, I've corrected it by actually putting in the units that were removed, and more importantly, taking out the extra zeros that were added to make it scary looking. So from negative 20 feet to positive 32 feet, right? All right. I mean, I removed most of the zeros. They didn't do it all perfectly, but, oh, excuse me, I was wrong. You see how deceptively edited this all gets? This is 40 milliarcseconds, and this is 32. No, 30, what? Okay, I'll let you in on a little secret. Let's go back again. That's 320, and that one says 20. Oh, so instead of 32 feet, that's 2 feet. Yes, that's 2 feet, 4 feet, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32 feet. So it's 32 feet plus 2 feet, 34 feet across. Now, again, I'm doing this live. This amount of extra zeros and crap, when it's literally 20 and 0, negative 20, and it's actually negative 2 feet, because again, milliarcseconds, you have to take a 0 off. Okay, so what we're dealing with here is a 34 foot by, well, it's right here. 100 milliarcseconds is about 10 feet or 3.1 meters. In fact, it's almost exactly 10 feet. So this is a 30 foot wide by 33 foot tall graph, a spiral. A full circle around it is 433 days, a little bit longer than the length of a year. And out of a 7,917 mile across diameter Earth, people are telling you to worry about this deviation of 30 feet. Anyway, this was the December 5th, 2022 Earth Wobble Planet X News thumbnail that they didn't tell you that milliarcseconds works out to basically a tenth of a foot. Yeah. It's extremely precise, and scientists are really good at doing this, but you know what? Every once in a while, scientists realize that they've been accidentally scaring people, or more accurately, giving more propaganda ammo to people who lie to you in the name of God. Now, this is a graph here. Let me zoom that back out. This is a graph right here from Science Direct, Science, Article, ABS, PII, and then a string of numbers. Now, I can't really show it because they put it behind a paywall, but this image did bleed through and I grabbed it. And we have a linear trend, another filtered trend, and the SSA trend, and the EOPC1 gray line that's actually not a trend. This is the trend of deviation over a period of time from 1840 to the year 2020. So, yeah, that's pretty good data we've got there, right? So we get a deviation from this point here, which we'll call it negative 5, to this point over here, which we could call positive 50. So we got 55 feet of deviation. That's how far the North Pole has moved around its center of rotation. And over here we have around a little bit less. It's moving in a linear manner, and they're doing it based on math, science. Anyway, but it says here, X pole and Y pole, milliarcseconds. And then the years are just drawn out as years. Obviously, this dimension up and down is going to be distorting things a bit. They actually type out the letters milliarcsecond, MAS. That's how you're supposed to type it up. And again, your truther, conspiracy theorist, people that you believe in, did not put those up as milliarcseconds. Are they wrong? Well, we got 200 to 600. That's 60 by. That's like an 80 foot by. Yeah, we're talking a pretty good space here. They were being honest. But let's look here. Let's look at the evil thing I've hidden. Yeah, you ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you noticed this, but this is a spiral from 1900 to the year 2000, extrapolated into meters. So that's about 30 feet one way, 30 feet the other, and this one's 20 times, so it's like 60 feet. Yeah, it's the same graph. So even the scientists every once in a while realize they should put things in meters or feet. They could just put it in feet. That wouldn't hurt anything at all, I don't think, but they're obsessed with not using anything but metric. So let's review. People out there who say they're good Christian patriots, truthers, Christian patriot truthering, showed you this, did not tell you that you were looking at a circle that's about 36 feet across, did not tell you that this has been going on for a ridiculously long period of time, and that it has been stable since the 1840s. And of course, someone is going to comment in the comment section that I'm full of it and I don't know what I'm talking about because I'm not saying what they want to hear. But again, I'm going to repeat it one more time, mostly because it'll aggravate the right kind of people. They altered a graph showing you something that had a caption under it on the original artwork that said milliarcseconds, 100 milliarcseconds is around 10 feet. It's almost exactly 10 feet. In fact, it might just well be. And instead of using feet or even meters, scientists keep using milliarcseconds when they're really measuring something literally on the ground, or in the case of the North Pole, on an ice sheet. They could measure it on the South Pole and show it to you and draw it out every year and put it up as a news story, telling you how much deviation has happened in inches. And yet you have somebody out there trying to scare you into believing that the world's going to come to an end, that you better get right with God, and you're a true patriot if you yell and scream this loudly and give them money on their Patreon and GoFundMes. And you really, really bought that. A lot of you did. And I do this just about every year because someone poops this out. And we're about due for someone to poop it out because they're doing it every 6 months now. And again, yes, this big reticle bullseye was added by somebody for dramatic effect. The only people using this actual color pattern and stuff is somebody who won't claim to have copywritten it and keeps saying it's a secret document from NASA or whatever. No, actually it isn't. It's actually from a piece of software you can download, and it just draws the graph for you. I don't have the ability to find it anymore. One guy actually put one out, but he was a truther, and once it started being used by his users and they looked up the translation and found out that he was scaring them about something that's happened literally for hundreds of years and hasn't had any deviation or negative effects, and more importantly, is only 32 feet across, goddammit, he stopped getting money for it, so he stopped putting out his little program. So I can't find it anymore. Otherwise, I'd draw the diagram for you on the screen. And yes, again, this is Planet X News lying to you. Wow, that 2022 line is significantly more separated from the other movement paths. Just like it always is. It goes in cycles. Skinny, fat, skinny, fat, skinny, fat. It's like a 3 or 5 to 1 ratio on it. Some years it deviates so little that the graph, they end up literally drawing it out in inches, which is a welcome breather from this pseudo-scaremongering. And again, if you're a scientist, if you're watching, when you do a diagram like this and you can easily put it in feet or inches and you don't, you're giving ammo to liars. They're already going to lie, but now you're just basically daring them to do it. And again, emphasis added, every once in a while, someone really does put it in meters and just makes it easier for us to understand. And I thank them very much for it. Thanks for watching. Have a good day, and I wish everyone a great deal of luck with all of that.